Hello, everyone, and here we have a new story. Before we get to that, I want to ask you to subscribe, like, and be sure to write comments in order to participate in the development of the community. Write how to improve my community, current topics in the stories you are interested in, and much more. I read and listen to all the comments. People write me stories by mail from different countries. There are problems with translation. I apologize for this. I will work on it and try to fix these errors. I want to thank everyone for their support and the people who wrote to me by mail, broadcast news stories. New videos on my channel are published once every 2 days at 7 p.m. Don't forget to put a bell in order not to miss new videos. And now let's go. Hello, I want to tell you my story. I was a medical student when I first saw her. I was in my 3rd year and she came to do an internship at our university. At that time, I was like a star disease. I studied strictly perfectly. I was the host of all the entertainment programs of our university. I had a lot of attention among the girls. I liked it. I changed girls like gloves and saw a lot of tears because of the breakup. In general, I was like a ladies' man and had no problems with the female sex. But one day, I went into the reception room of the director of our university and saw her. She was not tall, but her dark skin color, beautiful eyes, and dazzling smile drove me crazy. She also paid attention to me, but did not expect me to approach her because she thought that the girl was not my level. To hell with these prejudices. I started to find out about her from her girlfriends and from the secretary she interned with. After a while, I invited her to the cinema. After the first meeting, we started going to cafes, bars, and so on. To be honest, we had a very wonderful time together. There were rumors at the university that Ruzanna had changed me. I became humble and began to treat girls more respectfully. The 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐿 in me was gradually disappearing. On the 8th of March, I proposed Ruzanna to officially become my girlfriend. Everything was just fine with us. We were over the moon with joy. We spent time together every day, went wherever possible, and we had a common company. 2 months later, when she moved out of the dormitories to her friend, we started having regular sex life. She turned out to be a virgin, and I really liked it because I was her first sexual partner. She wanted sex every day. We had sex 4 times a day. I was very proud that I could satisfy my girlfriend. We've always had a lot of fantasies about sex. She took care of me and I took care of her. I started spending the night at her house where we cooked, cleaned, and watched movies together. In general, everyone was very happy, especially her sister and mother. They were glad that she had a loving fiancé. And so it went on for 8 months. One fine evening when I came to her house, her friend took me aside and said that she had seen Ruzanna in the car with some guy in the morning. I didn't attach no importance to it, but I asked her about it anyway. She told me not to worry because it was her cousin. She really had a cousin. She was offended at me for doubting her loyalty. Of course, I apologized for this misunderstanding. After a while, my girlfriend's friend with whom she lived told me again that in the evening, as soon as I left, some guys came to Ruzanna. She went out and talked to them in the entrance. What they were talking about and what they were discussing was not heard. Again, I didn't pay any attention to it. I thought it was her brother again. A week later, the guys taunted me in the yard. They told me that I was a horned deer, and while I was studying, my girlfriend was spending time with other guys. It became unpleasant for me, and I had to explain myself to them and tell them about her brother. But they said there were at least 3 guys in the car. I loved her very much and was blinded by love, so I didn't believe everything they told me. I needed to see it for myself. Most likely, this was my main mistake. But I periodically discussed this with Ruzanna. She reacted in different ways. Then she was offended that I believed strangers. Then she laughed at this nonsense or did not react at all. Rumors about her riotous life while I was studying began to intensify. My brother has already started telling me about this. Even though I didn't believe him, I still began to be a little afraid. In addition, I noticed strange habits behind her. When we were walking together, she began to spit saliva often nervous, referring to, but it's not so easy to deceive me as a medical. Plus, Ruzanna began to smell like cigarette smoke. When I asked her what was that smell, she referred to the smoke-filled places, and her friend with whom she lived also smoked cigarettes. One day when I had a volleyball competitions, she came to the competition to cheer for me. I immediately smelled alcohol and valerian from her. It is believed that valerian interrupts the smell of alcohol. I decided to find out after the competition. As it turned out, she was sitting in the car with her brother, in which everyone was smoking cigarettes. She felt sick, and her brother gave her a drink of valerian from the first aid kit. I tried to give her some arguments, but she defended herself in every possible way. Two guys started visiting her friend. Her friend met them recently. The guys are good and they don't spare money. I easily found a common language with them, and we almost became one company. The main one is Jack, the landlady's boyfriend. The other guy is just his friend. They all knew that Ruzanna was my fiancée and were very happy for us. After a while, people completely unfamiliar to me began to say that Ruzanna was having sex with one of these guys. I couldn't believe it because the guys knew she was my girlfriend. And during our conversation, Jack said that none of this was true and that I should believe the rumors less. Sometime after the evening walk with his beloved, I walked her home and made sure she went to bed. 3 days later, one of my friends told me again that he saw Ruzanna at night near the entrance with some guys. As it turned out, it happened on the day when I saw her off and she went to bed. My patience was running out. I decided to find out everything, as a result of which we had a big fight. During the quarrel, she went to the house of her cousin who lived with my friend Alfred. Alfred rented a room from her brother, studied at my university, and was a year younger. Ruzanna's best friend told me that my beloved girlfriend had sex with Alfred that night. She said that he was secretly in love with her and was going to take her with him to his hometown. But again, I didn't believe her. 4 days later, we reconciled again. All my friends mocked me and understood that Ruzanna was lying to me, but I believed her, especially since my mother and my sister categorically denied it. I trusted my fiancé. One beautiful summer night, my phone rang nonstop. I picked up the phone and something like this dialogue took place between us. I quote, "Hello, it's Richard. We're in the sauna. Come to us. The time is 15 minutes past 3. What kind of sauna do I sleep in? Come on, your friends are calling you, but you don't want to. If you don't have money, it's not a problem. We pay for everything. The main thing is that you come. We have a surprise for you. You'll really like it. Okay, I'll be there in 15 minutes. Yes, my friends paid for everything and the sauna was great. We had a good time, and I remember the surprise. The guys said that the girls had been invited to the sauna and they would be there any minute. I was going to leave, arguing that I'm not cheating and it's not for me. I have a girlfriend and I love her very much. They replied that I would not have to cheat on her. You'll see why now. And so the girls came to us, and among them was my now ex Ruzanna. We stared at each other in silence for a minute. I thanked the guys for the surprise and went home. Of course, Ruzanna began to justify herself and cry. She tried to persuade me not to leave her. Our dialogue turned into pieces for forgiveness. She said she was a fool and didn't understand anything. She just wanted a little adventure, but I didn't care. I left with the words, "Don't call me ever again." And the next day, next to the schedule at my university, I 𝐂𝐿 her photo from the sauna. My friend sent me this photo. On the photo, it was written, "Who wants to have a good time? Call and Ruzanna's phone number." As a result, she could not stand the psychological pressure and took the documents from the university. And she went to her hometown, and I never saw her again. Perhaps you will say that my revenge was childish and stupid. I've been thinking about it a lot over time. But she made a horned deer out of me and I acted on my emotions. Now, I choose girls with care. My advice to you is to listen to other people's opinions and check, and don't be as blinded by love as I am. That's the story. If you like it, put your finger up and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss new videos. Now let's move on to the opinion of the author of the channel. The opinion of the author of the channel. By tradition, I want to wish strength and patience to our hero. After listening to your story, your girlfriend deserved to be punished without dispute, but your revenge really looked childish. But the most important thing is that you realized your mistakes and started moving forward. And what do you think? Friends, was our hero's revenge childish and stupid or not? Write your comment. I will be interested to hear your opinion. If you have watched to the end, I want to say thank you very much. I love you all. Thank you for joining me on this exciting journey of love, betrayal, and redemption. I appreciate your support and encourage you to subscribe, like, and share this story. Your participation and feedback are invaluable for shaping our content and promoting mutual understanding and community growth. Until we meet again.